Good morning, Michelle Saxman here, and ready to share with you some time with Jesus Calling by Sarah Young on November the 6th. But before we get started, I want to let you know about some changes that are going to be coming, and I'm going to be posting more frequently on different platforms of social media, really talking about faith unwired and kind of breaking down some of the messages so that it becomes a little bit easier, but also understanding the neuroscience and the wiring that goes on in our brain, and how by God's beautiful, wonderful, magnificent design, we are in our flesh. We are this massive neurochemistry. We are biology, we are physiology, we are neurophysiology, and kind of helping us on this journey of self-awareness. Again, I'm going to stay biblically based. When God called out to Adam, "Where are you?" It wasn't because God didn't know where Adam was, but because in our human form, it is our responsibility to know where we are in relation to God. And so when we can learn about what tapes are playing up here, being the conductor of the brain train, I'm going to be doing a little bit more work on that sort of thing, a little bit more content. It's not just going to be on Jesus Calling. So thank you for your patience. Thank you for your support. Thank you for reaching out, checking in with me during the time of my absence. So get ready for some new content, Faith Unwired. So for today, Jesus Calling, we are talking about the very first sentence. Let's break it down. And it says, "Seek to please me above all else." You guys, there are two things we need to be doing in that sentence. And that is, one is seek, be intentional to please me, to know when we are people pleasing, to know when we're pleasing God, to know when we're living from our adapted, insecure ego self, and to know when we are living from our confident, power-filled, powerful, authentic self of Him in me. So seek to please me, know where you are aiming. Let's be intentional. Let's set that target early in the day. And then throughout the day, we're going to have choice points. I'm going to also ask you to think about them as still points to pause. In this, I've talked about before, when a parent is on the sideline and the child is on the court or on the field or on the stage, and they really want to make eye contact with that parent, and they want to get that reassurance from them. So through those points throughout the day, pause, look to the sideline, look up, take a breath, go in before we step out into that adapted self. Make sure we're aiming to His desires, pleasing Him above all else. So we'll get on to the readings, but something that really stuck out to me, it's about the fruits of the Spirit. It's always about taking a pause to cultivate the fruits of the Spirit. And so I'm going to list those real quick, and that is love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, goodness, faithfulness, gentleness, and self-control. This journey of self-awareness is taking the pause for the Spirit to rise up. So let's cultivate the fruits of the Spirit. The readings for today, the first one is John chapter 8, verse 29. Where is this? What is going on? So Jesus is at the temple. I believe they said it was in an area of the temple called the treasury. He is being questioned by the Pharisees. Who are you? So He is reminding them who He is. And this is what Jesus says. "The one who sent me is with me. He has not left me alone, for I always do what pleases Him." What I will say in this one is, we know who we are because we know whose we are. And Jesus is reminding us that this relationship does not ever separate, no matter where we are physically, no matter where we are emotionally, mentally. It doesn't matter. He will never leave us. He will never forsake us. But it is our responsibility to cultivate that intimate relationship, to pull the weeds and get those distractions out of the way. The next reading is Hebrews chapter 11, verses 5 and 6. "By faith, Enoch was taken from this life so that he did not experience death. He could not be found because God had taken him away. For before he was taken, he was commended as one who pleased God. And without faith, it is impossible to please God, because anyone who comes to Him must believe that He exists and that he rewards those who earnestly seek him. You guys, it was important. This is in Hebrews, which is in the New Testament, and they're referencing Enoch, who is from the Old Testament. He was referenced in Genesis chapter 5. And there are only two individuals in the Bible that die, and we do not know about their death. And it is, I believe it is Elijah and Enoch. So this is referencing, which is really important for the people of the time, the audience, if you will, to know that these are people, they were sent from God. So they reference Old Testament material. They reference the Jewish faith so that these people can believe that the faith is moving forward through Jesus Christ. And then the final reading is Psalm chapter 37, verse 4. Delight yourself in the Lord, and he will give you the desires of your heart. You guys have to be careful here because it's not the desires of the mind. It is not the desires of the ego. It's the desires of the heart. So in the way in which we were designed, again, this is David, this is Old Testament. What are the desires of our heart? And I think sometimes we can say, well, it's money, it's power, it's wealth, it's blah, 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 blah. We can pick things that we believe we really desire. But you guys, the desire of our hearts, because we were made in his image and likeness, the desire of our heart is cultivating the fruits of the Spirit. It's having love, joy, peace, hope, faithfulness, kindness, gentleness, self-control. The fruits of the Spirit are truly the desires of our heart. The adapted self, the ego is going to say, no, I want material things. And then we get right down to it and we like, you know what, really what I need is peace, inner peace. So the other thing that I was thinking about, I know it is early November and I don't really want to be talking about all the Christmas stuff just yet, but I want you to think about how the fruits of the Spirit are represented in the Advent wreath. And the first one is hope, which in the fruits of the Spirit would be faithfulness. And then the second one is joy, and then peace, and then love. You guys, God knows what we need. He knows the true desires of our heart. So we need to seek to please him above all else, aim toward him first and foremost. Acknowledge when we are people-pleasing, when we are in our adapted self versus when we are in our authentic self. Take those moments of choice points and stress throughout the day, refer to them as still points, refer to them as pause points. Look to the sideline, restore yourself, fan your flame, and y'all have a super blessed day. Stay connected to the vine. Look for more content on being faith unwired. And let me know down below, comment down below if something about this was a good takeaway. Please like, please share, and let's go out and change the world one smile, one pause at a time. Stay connected to the vine, and I will talk to you soon. Bye-bye.